Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Guys, in a stunning shift that could redefine the trajectory of one of the 21st century's most devastating wars, Ukraine has just opened the door to direct peace negotiations with Russia. But there is a catch. President Zelensky made it clear. The path to the negotiating tables begins only with silence on the battlefield, a full ceasefire, no missiles, no drones, no airstrikes. This announcement comes just before a critical meeting in London with the US officials and as pressure mounts from the global powers, including the United States, to end this bloodshed. But is this ceasefire offer a breakthrough or just another political maneuver in a conflict that has cost hundreds of thousands of lives? So, guys, let's break it all down. President Zelensky's message came during a press conference in Kiev on Tuesday, and he didn't mince words. Ukraine, he said, is willing to negotiate directly with Russia if and only if the Russians demonstrate a genuine commitment to peace by halting their military operations entirely. If the Russians are ready for a complete ceasefire, Zelensky said, then after a complete ceasefire is established, we are ready for any format of negotiations with them. This marks a profound change in their tone. Since Russia's full-scale invasion in February of 2022, Kiev had refused direct talks with the Kremlin. Too many bombed-out cities, too many broken promises, too much blood spilled on the Ukrainian soil. But now, with global fatigue growing, US politics shifting, and European unity under stress, both sides seem to be reevaluating their positions. On the same day Zelensky made his offer, Russian President Putin, long accused of stalling peace with maximalist demands, reportedly responded with a signal of his own. He told reporters that Moscow was open to a ceasefire and even a possible deal provided certain conditions were met. One of these conditions was recognition of Crimea as Russian territory and possibly the regions Russia has partially occupied since the 22 escalation. According to the Financial Times, Putin is essentially offering a freeze of the war along with the current front lines. In exchange, he wants the United States to formally recognize Russia's control over Crimea and other disputed areas. For Ukraine, that's a red line. Its constitution forbids ceding sovereign land, and public sentiment remains firmly against legitimizing Russian occupation, especially after two brutal years of war. And yet, the political winds are shifting fast. President Donald Trump, now back in the Oval Office, has made ending the war a centerpiece of his foreign policy. He even issued a personal deadline. The war must end within the first 100 days of his second term, and that deadline is April 30. In now a viral post on Truth Social, Trump warned that he would walk away from any peace process if either side continued to block the ceasefire effort. And on Monday, in all caps, he demanded a deal be reached this week. It's classic Trump, unpredictable but impossible to ignore. And it's also having an effort. Zelensky confirmed that Ukrainian negotiators are heading to London to meet US and European allies, where they will consider negotiations Washington's ceasefire proposal, even though Kiev says it hasn't seen a formal plan. Still, Zelensky admitted multiple informal proposals have been floating around from back channels, think tanks, and yes, even the media. What might that proposal look like? According to some sources, the US backed plan involves Ukraine dropping its NATO ambitions and agreeing to a long term neutrality pact. In return, Russia would halt military operations and allow the international observers to monitor any ceasefire. It's controversial and risky because while peace might seem tantalizing, the cost could be too high for many Ukrainians who still believe in total liberation. Zelensky's stand remains firm on that point. Discussing everything at once will only prolong the war, he warned. If a ceasefire happens, we will believe that we have at least some result. We will see that Russia is really ready for real steps. So, guys, where does this leave us? On the brink, once again, between war and peace. A ceasefire could be the first real opportunity to pause the carnage, to save lives, and to give diplomacy a fighting chance. But it also comes with the painful questions about the justice, sovereignty, and national pride. Is it possible to make peace without sacrificing principle? Or is freezing the war better than fighting it to the last trench? These are the decisions Ukraine and the world now faces. And in the coming days, as leaders gather in London and as public opinion continues to shift, the choices made will echo for the generations. This war began with fire and fury. Maybe it could end with the silence. So, guys, if you found this breakdown helpful and want more deep dives into unfolding global events, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should a Ukraine consider ceasefire under these conditions, or is this just a trap in disguise? This is Lakhan Tanwani, and I will sign off, and I will see you in the next one.